when we were young, there weren't many shops in the area, a couple of grocery shops and stuff like that, but the church was our focal point of our life, I suppose, and the schools, and very much this place behind me, we call it the Kiosk. And it was kind of a really incredible place when I look back now. It's where we used to buy our sweets and our ice cream and our lemonade and stuff like that. The adults would buy cigarettes. But one of the most really intriguing things about this place was the person who ran it. It was a guy called Mr. Carter, Bill Carter. Of course, we always called him Mr. Carter. And Mr. Carter was a really, really interesting man. He wore a kind of a white or a blue housecoat, and we used to have a small little window here in the Kiosk, just small enough for you to get your hands through and put your money through. And Mr. Carter knew, really, as far as I was concerned, from my kids' eyes, he knew everybody in the area. He knew your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father. He knew everything that was going on about everybody. And the most, I suppose, interesting fact about him was he was blind. So, you know, you'd come up to the Kiosk and say, hey, Mr. Carter, and straight away he'd say, oh, hello, young Carol. You know, he'd know me straight away and always surprise me and say, oh, how's your brother Derek, and how's your brother Brendan, and how's your sister Jacqueline? And it was just, as a kid, it was just kind of wonder. I was amazed. God, how's this guy know so much? We used to do really funny things with Mr. Carter. We'd pick up kind of, you know, polished stones, and we're always trying to fool him into thinking we're handing him in coins. We'd hand him in old coins and stuff like that. He would cop it straight away. He'd feel the coin and he'd know it wasn't, you know, it was an old coin, or it was a piece of rubbish. Another thing was, of course, you might try it from time to time, but it was always Mr. Carter was always a very consistent individual. You try and put your hand in the little window and try and grab anything, and everything was just about too far away from you to grab it. Yeah, so he was Mr. Consistency, and you know, sometimes you would come to the window as well, and you try and disguise your voice a little bit, say, right, you know, he's definitely not going to cop me today. I'm going to definitely throw him off the scent. So you come up and say, hello, Mr. Carter, blah, and straight away, yeah, hello, Mr. Young Carol, how are you? And how's your brother Derek? And how's he getting on the post office? And you'd kind of go, wow, how does he know it's me? How does he know Derek's working in the post office? So absolutely incredible. Just make your kind of your head spin as a little kid, you know. What he would do sometimes is he would say, yeah, hang on a second, I'll get your sweets for you. He'd go away and he'd pop up a camera and take a picture of you. Now, we were just kids and we didn't really realise, but obviously he never had film in that camera, but we used to run away and go, oh my God, we're going to be arrested. But my brothers used to send me up to the Kiosk to get various bits and bobs, and the really funny thing was that Mr. Carter was, you know, really in on the kind of the skits and the tricks all of the time. So sometimes my brothers would send me up for kind of bizarre things when I look back now, like a packet of buttonholes, which obviously don't exist, black and white stripe polish, sky hooks, buckets of steam, and glass hammers. So I would come up here as a little 10-year-old kid, 11-year-old kid, and morning, Mr. Carter, I'm looking for a sky hook and a packet of buttonholes. Of course, Mr. Carter would say, hang on there for a few minutes, and he would leave me there for ages because he was completely in on the joke with my brothers. We used to be able to buy loose cigarettes up there, which a lot of shops used to do. So you used to be sent up to buy one loose cigarette and a match. And Mr. Carter would give you the one loose cigarette and a match, which is incredible. Also, just to kind of think about it, you know, how times have changed. My brothers used to send me up to get a sachet of shampoo and a sachet of conditioner. So come up and Mr. Carter give you a sachet of Silvercrest shampoo and a sachet of conditioner. Obviously, times have really changed, you know. Just talking to the gentleman here, a guy I know from the area here today. I always assumed Mr. Carter had passed away. I am told he's still alive, which would be actually amazing now to maybe to say hello to him and go and meet him. But he was here for a long, long time. I mean, the older people in the area would probably know better than me, but he just seemed to be here forever. And certainly it defined my childhood, because he was always here from when I was a young kid up until I kind of left when I was in my early 20s. He garnered an awful lot of respect, even from the tough guys in the area, you know. The guys a bit older than me, they were kind of tough, hardened guys, you know, but they always respected Mr. Carter. I don't think the Kiosk got too much trouble in terms of break-ins and stuff like that. I mean, this was and is a working class area, but he kind of just seemed to command a lot of respect. I kind of seen him as somebody very, very kind of wise, and he kind of always made me feel that he was very, very astute and clever individual. But obviously all his senses were very finely, another way to say about people who lose one of their senses, the other senses kind of, you know, pick up the slack, I suppose, for want of another term. But certainly, you know, I just seen him as somebody very knowledgeable. He would also talk to you about football scores a lot, and you kind of always knew the football scores. So I always felt he had a burning need to let you know, I'm on my game here, I know my stuff, I know what's going on in the area, I know what's going on in your family, I know what's going on everywhere. But I suppose when I think back now, this place was really popular and really busy. The church was really busy in those times. Packed church on a Sunday, lots of masses, and people constantly walking out here all through the week, but particularly on a Sunday, talking to Mr. Carter. And of course, they were his source of information. It was the Grapevine, so he was a great listener to the Grapevine, and he was a great part of that, you know, that whole kind of fluid river of information in the area. And that's what he did, and he did it so well. But he made you feel kind of at ease, and he just made you feel, you know, very familiar and, you know, kind of happy to come to the shop. And I suppose when I think of it now, he was just a consummate salesman and a consummate marketeer. Really good memories. I'd say most people would have really, really good memories of the Kiosk, and it's still here, which is great. And I hope it, you know, continues to be here for I suppose for many years to come, you know.